Welcome to Got Invention Radio. I'm your host, Brian Freed, and tonight we have a special guest from All-Star Products Group. His name is John Hurley, and he is part of the company that actually came up with several marketing initiatives. Have you ever heard of the Snuggie? How about Perfect Pancake or Perfect Tortilla? And I know that there's other products that All-Star Products Groups are currently involved with, and we have John on our show to tell us about it. John, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight.
So, John, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and All-Star Products Group?
Sure. Again, thank you, everyone, for tuning in. My name is John Hurley, and I work in the merchandising team at All-Star Products Group. All-Star is an as seen on TV, or in the more technical terms, direct response television company. So our main job is to find a product that we can market on TV with the eventual goal of getting to retail and selling on the as seen on TV sets. A little background on myself. My road to merchandising at All-Star was kind of a little bit of a windy one. I started in the creative side of the business. So on the creative team, working through commercials, working on web comps, getting assets, images, making sure we're getting the right message across to the consumer. So I started there. Then made my way over to the DR team, who it's a little more analytic, more analyzing results, a little more math, I guess, looking at results as far as TV, web, who's clicking through, who's ordering, what's the order size, stuff like that. And eventually had an opening in merchandising. I come from a sales background, and really was kind of drawn to the idea of looking for products. It seemed like a really fun, different way of doing things. Jumped into that about 2 years, a little over 2 years ago now, and had been doing that ever since. Main job function as a merchandiser is to find the next big hit. I reference Snuggie a lot because, well, everyone knows Snuggie. I think everyone probably either listening in either has one or probably knows someone that owns one themselves. Big hit. So my job is to find the next one.
All right. Sounds great. Sounds like a plan. And now there's inventors that are listening that have products, inventions that they've been working on, and they're at all different stages of the invention process. And some of them may have a product that is a DRTV, as it's known as, which is direct response TV product. And we hope that during the show you'll share some of the insight with us to make a decision if it's something that we should present to you or any DRTV company. Is our product a DRTV product? And it would be great for you to help us out with that for sure.
Of course. I guess we could start by just kind of going over what DRTV is in general, just a really brief definition, just to kind of get a base here. Basically, DRTV, it includes any television advertising that asks a consumer to respond directly to the company by either the 800 number you see go across the screen or a website. That's real traditional DR, direct response. Over the years, it's changed. You're still using that same formula, but now the commercials, the websites are all used as a way of building awareness so that when the consumers get to Walmart, your Walgreens, the major retailers, they see it on the shelf and they already know what it does, the price it was on TV, and they already know they want it. So it's really now a way of building awareness and motivating people to buy at retail. So most sales now in DRTV are retail sales. You're still having a lot of sales done on both TV and the web, but now more retail than ever. There's also two different forms of direct response television as well, short and long. Short form, that's what All-Star is involved in, 2 minutes and below. At 2 minutes and below, we're selling something that's $19.95 and below. A long-form infomercial, perfect example, would be your Bowflex gym or any, let's see, HSN QVC item, something that needs a full half an hour to get across to the consumer. So DRTV, you're marketing through TV to retail. There's two different forms, short and long. As far as knowing if your product's right for DRTV, as far as industry is concerned, there's certain criteria that we all look for. I can only speak on All-Star's behalf, but these criteria I'll give you guys now are actually something that will kind of fit across, all companies within the industry. Number one, I have to say, main product criteria. So if you're asking yourself, is my product right for TV? It has to have a problem solution. You'll probably watch, you've seen infomercials, you've been up Saturday early morning, Sunday early morning, and TV comes on, and someone's having this problem. The screen's black and white. And then suddenly the DRTV, the product that we're selling to you or trying to pitch to you, solves that problem. Everything turns to color and everything is great. It's that problem solution that gets people to order on TV. It's what motivates people. Without that, it's just anything else. You need to be able to get people off the couch to order. So a problem solution is huge. It gets the orders to the TV, people ordering, pulling out their credit card, and eventually, and also, and the theory really being, if you get someone to order on TV with that problem solution, you'll definitely have an opportunity for them to sell that item to them in retail when they're actually going to be able to touch it, see it, and feel it. Another major criteria for DRTV would be the uniqueness. We're pitching on TV. Everyone is very familiar with major retailers. Everyone walks the aisles. They've seen probably almost everything that's out there. They go to their Amazons, they go to their Googles, and they see everything. So the key for us, getting back to that, if they see everything, they also know they could buy it in retail. So we need to make sure we offer them something that they don't think they can get anywhere else. Which a lot of times why you see on the end, order now for the special TV offer, you won't find it in stores. Another motivating factor for people to buy. It's unique. They don't think they can get it anywhere else. And it solves the problem I mentioned before in a unique way.
Okay. So John, it's really about, I guess when we're saying DRTV, it's really that it starts off on TV and then gets distributed out to the different retailers. Is that why it's called DRTV, or is there actually a DR, direct response?
Yeah, so direct response comes from really that when you're marketing on TV, you're looking for people to respond directly to your marketing, to your TV commercial. They're asking you to go straight to the website to order. It's direct. And as I mentioned earlier, it's changed. Maybe 10, 15 years ago, most of your sales people were picking up that phone and dialing that number and ordering that product off that phone number. The website probably, I don't know, about 15, 20 years ago, obviously, but the phone numbers were huge. But now really what it's used as a inexpensive way of marketing the item, building awareness so that when they get to retail, that's where you move all your major units.
Okay.
So the model has changed. We're still going about it and pitching it the same way, but the way we sell to the consumers has changed over the years. Now it's really a big retail strategy.
Okay.
More so than ever, which is why when you go to Walmart at the end, checking out. Just recently, I was there 2 weeks ago. All the products from DRTV companies are all there, and they're stacked up pretty deep on those retail shelves. That's where you're moving the most of quantity.
Sure, John.
Yep.
Here's the thing that I'm wondering though, because I hear people in the DRTV, direct response TV world, that says the product has to be for mass retail, but then you go to the stores and you see a little needle, you see something for automotive, you see something really specific for travel. So is it really that it needs to be mass, or is it something that can be specific for a specific industry that, from a this side perspective, to see it almost in a catalog, a specialty catalog, but there's different DRTV companies that are putting it to the masses?
Yeah, and that you actually nailed exactly what my next point was as far as the criteria. We really do look for things that hit mass market, that have mass market appeal. You'll see your products out there that seem to be focused towards a certain group of people. But we, and depending on the company, we really are trying to find something that appeals to everyone. Really, the reason behind it being, if there's a certain percentage, I don't know that percentage, but there is one, of how many people order off of TV, we're trying to, and it's a small segment of the market, you're trying to appeal to as many of those people as you can so that you have enough people ordering on TV to lower the cost of your TV campaign so you could build the campaign and run more of it to build awareness for retail.
Right.
So the key is to really you're really trying to appeal to the masses to get as many people to order and to really have a large campaign. Because remember, the successful DRTV campaign, it's not a very long, unless it's a Snuggie or a perfect meatloaf pan, you're not in the market for long. So you have to sell as many of those products as quickly as, not quickly as possible, but over a short amount of time. And in order to do that, you need to have a mass market appeal. So we do look for that.
Okay. So give us some examples, John, of some products that your company and you have taken and basically brought to a level of success.
One in particular, which I'm very close to, is the Grip Go car mount, which is currently running on TV now, and you might find it at some of the retailers. That was a perfect example of it's a product that's unique, never been out there before. Solve the problem. I think everyone here could probably relate to the fact that when you're driving in your car, where do you put your cell phone? You put it in your cup holder, but you're taking up a cup space. You probably put it in the little handle there to open your doors, but it falls out. So this is presented to me, and he really kind of the guy, the product source, put it out on the line and said, listen, this meets all your criteria, solves that problem, and it was mass appeal. Yes, granted, not everyone drives, but the majority of people, you could probably make an argument, have a vehicle of some sort, or have and understand the problem. Just really an all-around, and it's getting a great response now. It was demonstrable. I mean, the demos were great on TV. Because the big thing too, you need to make sure it's credible. People need to believe that it's going to do what it's supposed to do. So when you can demo it, you can show it on TV. I mean, so far it's been a home run. Got another example, I'd say. Perfect Tortilla was interesting. You mentioned that at the start of the show.
Yep.
That was something that if it came across our desk early on, maybe we wouldn't have tackled it. But, what that allowed us to do was take a product that, some people couldn't make a tortilla shell at home. We then provided them with a way of doing that. And I think if you look in the market, if you go to your, we're on the East Coast here, so if you go to your Desert Moon cafes or you go to your Chipotle's, you're going to see those tortilla shells. So they started catching on, a little bit of a trend. Now we're able to provide the masses with a solution to that problem. And we pitched it. You could do it dinner, snacks, even desserts in it. So the commercial really sold that item as well. And it does what it's supposed to. It really performs the way we pitch it, which goes back to the credibility part. So yeah, those are a couple examples of products that we took to market that were that mass appeal, that have been doing very, very well for us so far.
Oh, sounds good. There's a listener that sent in an email. By the way, for those listeners who don't have my email address, you can email me, brian@gotinvention.com. You can email me your questions, and I'll ask John live. Jennifer from Texas is asking, how do you come up with all these names?
How do you come up with the names? That's a good question. So we have creative meetings. Different members of the company sit in, and really, honestly, it's a brainstorming session. There is a science to these names. These silly names, or these names that people think are silly, they work. So we kind of, not that we go out looking for a silly name, but we just stick to, everything's kind of an alliteration. They kind of rhyme, and we stick to that. So it's just honestly, it's a collaborative effort to come up with a name, and we always try to make sure that the name has something to do with the product and what the problem it's solving. A Perfect Tortilla and our Perfect line, we really believe that these products create the perfect meatloaf, brownie, tortilla. So it only makes sense. It's part of the brand.
Sure.
But yeah, it's a group effort.
So, John, I'm an inventor, and I have products that I would present, and I'm talking for the other inventors listening out there, where I'd come to you and say, I have a product. What sort of test should I do? Because I believe that my product, everybody in the world and other world should have it. So what do I need to do first to kind of sift through and give myself kind of my own screening before I present to somebody like you? What do I need to do, John?
Okay. So in other words, what should an inventor do sitting home to say, okay, is this the right product for DRTV?
Yes.
Kind of go, make sure it's unique. Do your research and go